All right, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick for today. And we have a great word today, one we haven't had for quite a while, actually. It came up, and so I'm excited to share it with you, and it is determination. And so, as you know, this is something that I don't know, we all work on, but sometimes can get pretty confusing, especially when our children are determined. And I think that's a good way of putting that, right? So let's read the description first and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So, determination is the power of intent that drives our dreams. It is the strength of will to act with resolve. We focus our energy on a purpose and persevere until we meet our goal. Determination is the commitment to follow through until we accomplish our purpose. We care about something so much that even when difficulties arise and things don't come easy, we keep on keeping on. If one path doesn't work, we try another. We don't allow ourselves to get distracted or to go off track. We complete the task we choose to do. With determination, we will succeed. So as I read that, all I can think about is how true this is of our kids, right? So we have a child that's determined, and they're committed to follow through to get what they want, right? And they care about it so much that even when mom says no or dad says no, and they just see that as a challenge, and they keep moving on, right? And if it doesn't work this way, what do? They take another path, they go a different way, they choose a different path to try to get what they want. And so sometimes, as parents, we we identify that determination in another way. We identify it as being stubborn. We identify it as being a willful child. There's all kinds of words and things that come up for us, that what we're really describing is determination. So before I go into that any further on the kids' side, I just want to say that for me this morning, when I think about determination, I have my list of things here. I've already made my schedule up for the day. There we go, things I want to get done. And I've put it into my schedule. At 8 o'clock, I want to have this is the hour I'm going to work on this. And I'm determined to stay focused on those things because it brings me to a place of completion on things that I'm purposeful about, that's my mission, that's my part of my vision, it's what I'm passionate about. And so we all have things that we want to do, and sometimes our energy goes in goes into a lot of different directions. And so determination and the development of that virtue means that we get more focused, and we're committed to something that is many times bigger than ourselves. And it's true both in our work, it's true in our family, right? And that's where I was thinking about it today is, you know, how how determined do we get to raise our children in a way that they will be safe and healthy, successful and happy, right? We get very determined, and sometimes, as with all virtues, we can get to a point where it's overdeveloped, where we are so determined that we do things that actually, in the long run, not in the maybe not in the short term, but in the long run, um, do not benefit our children as much as it could. So we need to balance this again, and as we've been discussing this week, I've been looking at what are these balancing virtues to each virtue that we look at. What is our the balancing of determination? Well, sometimes it's patience, right? And and certainly our commitment to long-term goals is a part of determination. When we look at this description, we see the word strength, which is a virtue, and so we have to have that strength. We see the word purpose, which is all about purposefulness, right? And that is part of our determination. But we want to balance that so that we don't overreact and do things that are in the long run going to be not so helpful for our children. And so when I go back to this thing about our kids and their demonstrating of determination, if if we say to our children when they're being in this way of being, that they're trying to get something that they really want, right, and they're being pretty determined about it, if we label that as being stubborn, or if we label it as being difficult or hard to deal with, or just in ways that are in fact shaming, that does a lot of damage, because the kids will not learn what determination is all about. But if we identify it as determination and then request them, to demonstrate their determination with balance, by balancing flexibility, or balancing it with patience, or balancing it with forbearance, it's these are all virtues that they can balance it with, and it gives us the opportunity to introduce them to virtues that maybe they've not learned about yet, or they've not identified, and yet they have them in themselves already, just as we all do. So instead of calling our children stubborn, which it's pretty easy to do sometimes. But in fact, they're showing their determination. And don't you want them to be determined and have this virtue of determination developed in them well, as they go into more and more difficult and challenging situations? I think about, do we want them to have determination when they're learning their math in school? Do we want them to have determination when they're applying for, maybe they've decided to go to college, or maybe they've decided to learn a trade? Don't we want them to have that determination, that power of intent that drives their dreams? We say we want them to be safe, healthy, successful, and happy, but their happiness is based on them achieving their dreams. And what if they've lost that desire for determination because we've identified it in them as being stubborn, or being hard to deal with? Then, and if they lose that determination in that way, I'm just thinking about how much damage that could do to them, and following the things that might make them happy, that are their dreams, the things goals that they might be thinking about in a hopeful way. So that's my thoughts today about the determination. And for me, I'm going to work really hard to stay on track today, because how hard it is sometimes. I get distracted pretty easily, and when I do, I go down rabbit holes that take up way too much time. So that's why I write everything down in the hours that I want to be working on them. So that's my way of helping me to stay on track. All right, everybody, thank you very much for being here. It's been a great week, and I look forward to seeing you back here on Monday. Remember, on Saturday and Sunday, we post the virtue, and you can look at the description of it on our website. And then we'll be back on Monday with a new live, with a brand new word for us to focus on. And so until next time, until Monday morning, until then, keep practicing the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time, bye.